As this iconic series comes to a close, I think it fit to talk a little about the inspiration of the series title, namely the Dark Soul. As the final and most mysterious of the four great Lord Souls, the Dark Soul has been a topic of great intrigue, thought, and discussion. Its first master, the furtive pygmy, is also one of the game's more obscure characters, a being we know little about who one day hoped that of his descendants would rise up a Dark Lord to end the Age of Fire and usher in the new Age of Dark. This last DLC is playing heavily into the theme of the Dark Soul and the furtive pygmy's descendants. The Ring City is a traditional city for the pygmies. Its sun is blotted out, gaining the appearance of the dark sign, the signifier of an accursed undead. These two attributes connected the city to man, as mankind is descendant from the furtive pygmy, and we all should be familiar with the dark sign that has accompanied us in all of our adventures through the series' undead men and women. These, with the heavy theme of Londor, the Land of Hollows, adds up to a big focus on introspection. It seems that we'll be taking a look inwards and learning more about who we've played as these past three games in this DLC. Another point I think would be unwise to overlook is the Ringed Knight. Shown dauntingly in one of the promotional images and the gameplay trailer, it's given the description, a Ringed Knight, who is one of the old knights. The withered sword, which was sealed by the gods in the past, seems to have regained its past appearance. The Ringed Knight bears on its chest a gaping hole, resembling the dark sign, another connection. The knight approaches the player, brandishing a mighty sword of fire, hilted with a dragon, so powerful that it struck enough fear into the mighty gods that they sealed the sword away. Alongside this sword of fire, the knight wields a powerful, dragon-faced shield that is capable of multi-directional waves of flame, which provide ample cover for the Ringed Knight to strike. The Ringed Knight obviously has its share of dragon imagery. This is amazingly important to note considering that the gods' greatest threat was the dragons. They feared the winged everlasting beasts immensely as they had to fight to the death against these beasts to secure their lives as leaders of the world. The gods also happened to fear this knight's weapon of choice. The depth of this connection is one of utmost importance. Perhaps the Ringed Knight simply adopted what it saw as powerful. The dragons are an easy picture of this. However, we know that FromSoft almost always plays into the deeper side of things at least a little more than that. Could the Ringed Knights have been like the Nameless King, siding with the dragons against the gods? This could be reinforced by seeing the Ring City not as a gift from the gods to the pygmies, as some form of shelter, but instead a curse, a place of exile for the group that caused the gods so much additional fear, being the house of a power that rivaled their own, the Lord Soul. If this is so, the Ringed Knights siding with the dragons definitely becomes plausible. Another important feature to note about this peculiar and intimidating knight is its similarities to the Dark Wraiths. We know that the Dark Wraiths were men corrupted by the Abyss, so maybe something similar could be said of the Ringed Knights. They could possibly be some of the knights of old, or even some of the pygmies that dwelled within the Ring City, corrupted by something, not necessarily the Abyss like the Dark Wraiths, or perhaps they were corrupted by the Abyss and an additional something else. In either of the previous two cases, or even a mix of both, the Ringed Knight is a foe of utmost importance. I think that there will be much to learn about ourselves and our existence, or our character's existence, by looking at the Ringed Knight. It may be able to provide insight about the Dark Sign, the Dark Soul, the furtive pygmy, how men can be corrupted, and the New Age, whatever that may be, that seems to be descending upon us. The Ringed Knight could have been just another enemy, but with its gaping chest hole, dragon weaponry, and Dark Wraith harkening armor, I can't see that happening. This last DLC is the final note of the epic symphony that is Dark Souls. It's the closer and the finale. What we learn about the Age of Dark, the furtive pygmy and its descendants, Londor, Hollows, the Ringed Knights, the Dark Sign, the age-old dragons, and of the Dark Soul, will all be tied up in this one piece of content. I look forward to meeting the Ringed Knight and all its compatriots on this final field of battle.